What's up guys, Perry from Rockville here, and today I'm going to show you how to set up your Line 8 USB. Along with the mixer itself, you also get a USB cable and a USB power brick. And it comes with an instruction manual in case you need any reminders on how any of the functions work. There's also a lot of cool setups inside. So before we dive in, let's break down the controls, inputs, and outputs. So on the back of the mixer, we have all of the inputs and the output for group A, and all of the inputs and the output for group B. So the great thing about this mixer is that you can set it either to 4-channel mode or 8-channel mode. So simply put, in 4-channel mode, everything plugged into the inputs on group A will come out of output A here, and everything plugged into the inputs on group B will come out of output B here. So a setup where this might be helpful is if you have 4 microphones for a drum kit connected to group A and all of your instruments connected to group B. You can have the drum mics come out of output A and have them sent to their own channel on a mixer, while all of the instruments on group B are sent to another channel on your mixer. Now in 8-channel mode, all of the inputs will be summed together and they can come out of both output A and output B. So with this type of setup, you can still have the drum mics on group A and all of the instruments on group B. And now this way, everything could be connected from output A to one speaker and from output B to another speaker, and you'll still be able to hear everything coming out at once since all of the inputs are summed together. Now looking at the output section, we have the 8-channel mono and 4-channel stereo switch. So if you wanted to use group A and group B separately, you would press this button in for 4-channel mode. And if you wanted to use all of the tracks summed together, you would use the 8-channel mono mode. It also has a headphones output so you can hear everything from the mixer in your headphones. Then you have the USB input so you can connect the mixer to power or connect it to your laptop or computer. Then once you have your mixer connected to power, you have the power switch to turn it on. Now looking at the front of the mixer, you have the channel knobs for group A and group B. Each group also has a peak light so you can tell if any of the channels are peaking. And there's also a mic line switch to switch between mic preamp mode and line preamp mode. So if you were using microphones with group A only, you would want this button to be pushed out. And if you were using group B for instruments only, you would want this button pressed in. Next to that, we have the USB audio in switch. So if you have this mixer connected to your computer or laptop, you'd want to click this in so you can hear everything from the computer. And to bypass it, you can just leave it open like that. Then below we have the phones level knob so we can adjust the volume coming out of our headphones. And then the master level knob to control the volume of the overall outputs. So to show you one of the many ways we can use the Line 8 USB, I'm first going to set it up to a powered speaker. For this setup, I'll need only one channel here on my powered speaker. So I'm just gonna take 1 1/4-inch cable, plug one end into one of the outputs here on the mixer. For now, we'll use this output here. Then I'm gonna plug the other end into one of the channels on my powered speaker. For today, we'll use channel 1. I'm also gonna connect 1 microphone and 1 instrument into the mixer. And for this setup, I'm going to set the mixer into 8-channel mono mode. First, I'm gonna set up my microphone. So I got a dynamic microphone here, and I'm also going to need a female XLR 2 1/4-inch cable. So I'm gonna plug the female XLR end into my microphone. Then I can plug the other end into one of the inputs here on my mixer. For today, I'm gonna use channel 1 on group 1. Now that I've got the microphone set up, I'm going to set it aside for now so I can set up my guitar. So I can take an instrument cable, plug one end into my guitar, then plug the other end into another input here on the mixer. And for today, I'm going to set it to channel 1 on group B. So because I have my microphone set to a channel on group A, I'm going to want to make sure this button is open for microphone mode. And with my instrument plugged into a channel on group B, I'm going to want to set group B to line mode. Also, if I want the output from everything in group A and group B summed together, I'm gonna wanna make sure to set the output to 8-channel mono mode. So now I can raise the volume for channel 1 on group A and channel 1 on group B. Next, to send everything from the mixer out to my speaker, I'm gonna wanna raise the master level knob here. And I'm also gonna wanna raise the level knob for the channel on my powered speaker. So now if I turn on my microphone, check 1, 2, you should be able to hear my voice coming through. And now if I play my guitar, you should be able to hear that coming through also. So another way we can use the Line8 USB is by setting it up with a mixer. The first example I'll show is if we have 2 microphones set up to group A and 3 instruments set up to group B, and we want both groups to have their own channel on the mixer. So first I'll connect the Line8 to my mixer by taking 2 1/4-inch cables. I'm gonna go one at a time, so I'm gonna take one of my cables and plug one end into the output of group A. Then I'll take the other end and plug into one of the channels on the mixer. So right now I'll go into input 1. Now I still have to connect group B to another channel on the mixer. So I'm gonna take another 1/4-inch cable, plug one end into the output of group B, then connect the other end into another channel on the mixer. And right now I'll use channel 2. So now on the Line8, I'm gonna go to the output section and look for the 8-channel and 4-channel switch here. Since I want the outputs of group A and group B separated, I'm going to want to click this in for 4-channel mode. Now since I have microphones connected to group A, I'm gonna want to leave this button here open for microphone mode. And because I'm using instruments on group B, I'm gonna want to click this button in for line mode. So now I can raise the volume for the microphones on group A, then raise the levels for the instruments on group B. And to make sure the signal is reaching the mixer, I'm gonna want to raise the master level knob here. Now from here, I can raise the gain and the level on the channels on my mixer. And also I can raise the main mix knob on the mixer as well. Now another great way of using the Line8 with our mixer is by using the 8-channel mode. This way we can plug in a bunch of different microphones and instruments to the Line8 and then connect the Line8 to only one channel on our mixer, which will save us a bunch of room. So for this setup, all I have to do is leave this button here open for 8-channel mode, take one 1/4-inch cable and plug one end into either output A or output B. For today, I'll plug it into output A, then plug the other end into any channel on the mixer, and for today, I'll plug it into channel 1. Now I can set the level of all of my instruments and microphones, raise the master level knob on the Line8, then I'll raise the gain and the level knob for channel 1 on the mixer, and then I can raise the main mix knob here as well. Another way we can use our Line8 USB is by connecting it to our computer. You can do this with either Mac or PC, but if you're using a newer Mac, just be sure you have a USB-A to USB-C connector. So to connect the Line8 to the computer, I'm just going to take the USB-A end of the cable and plug it into my adapter here. Once you do that, you may see this prompt here on the screen, and if it does come up, you can go ahead and click on Allow. Now, even if we clicked Allow on that prompt, we might still need to go into the sound settings of our computer and select the Line8 to be used. So I'm gonna go into the sound settings here, and first I'm going to switch the output. The Line8 USB might come up as USB audio codec, so we can click on that to select it as the output device. And then we're gonna go into the input device and click on the same thing, USB audio codec. So from here, we can either set up a pair of speakers through the outputs on the back of the Line 8 or connect a pair of headphones through the headphone jack here. If you want to hear music from your laptop, from YouTube, Spotify, or even your DAW, you're going to want to be sure to click on the USB audio in button like that. One important thing to note is that while you're recording, you may experience a feedback loop if you have this button clicked on. So we recommend while recording to leave this open like that. Speaking of DAWs, the Line 8 USB is great to use with a DAW like GarageBand. Because of the different options we have in the 4-channel and 8-channel mode, I'm going to show you what happens when we set up our microphone to each. So remember, in 4-channel mode, we can set up to 4 microphones or instruments through Group A or Group B. For this first example, I'm going to set it to 4-channel mode and plug my mic into input 1 for Group A. On our DAW, we're gonna create a new track, and since we're using Group A, I'm gonna want to make sure to use input 1 and click on create. And because we're using a microphone with this setup, we're going to want to leave this button open here for mic mode. Next, I'm gonna raise the level knob for channel 1. And now if I turn on my microphone and talk into it, you'll see the signal coming in over here. So with this setup, we can connect anything on Group A and have it recorded on our first track here. But now let me show you what we want to do if we want to record anything through Group B. For this setup, I'm going to use Group B for my instruments, like my guitar here. So first, I'm going to create a new track. And because I'm using Group B, I'm going to set it to input 2 and click on create. So now I can plug my guitar into input 1 for Group B. And make sure to set Group B to line mode since we're using instruments. Raise the level knob for channel 1. And now if I play my guitar, you'll see the signal of the guitar coming through here. So this is a great setup if I want to keep everything from Group A separate to Group B while recording. But remember, we also have the option to sum the inputs together through the 8-channel mono mode. So if I wanted to use all 8 inputs at the same time, I can go to the output section here and leave the button here open to set it to mono mode. Then I can go ahead and create a new track and set it to either input 1 or input 2, hit create. And now if I play my guitar, you'll see that coming through the track. And if I pick up my microphone, check 1, 2, you'll see that going through as well. But of course, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to our customer support team. As always, I'm Perry from Rockville, and we'll see you guys next time.